Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and this morning we're visiting with Dr. Jimmy Hennings with the University of Kentucky Extension Forage Specialist there. Good morning, Dr. Henning.
Good morning.
Well, I'm glad you're here today because, as you work with every day, we are a grass state. And any time that we can extend that grazing just a little bit longer, it helps our beef producers.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, typically a day grazing is cheaper than a day feeding hay, and that's not always true. Greg Hallich has taught us that, but we're coming up on a time when we've got an opportunity to really generate some fall and winter pasture, and it's a good time to be talking about this.
And so we usually use the term stockpiling. Explain a little bit what that exactly means.
Well, it's a pretty broad term. We've narrowed it down to fescue in the fall, but really it's accumulating forage now for using later. And again, fescue is kind of the queen of stockpiling for a lot of reasons. So it's really an asset for us.
So walk us through the steps. Now is the time to start thinking about that and making some steps to make this happen.
Well, one of the things is picking the right field. Of course, it's got to be a field, where you can get to it with water in the winter. The good thing about that, you don't have to have as much access to water in the winter time, but we want to pick a field that hasn't been overgrazed in the summer. I learned that the hard way. If you hammer a field, July, August, and it's down to an inch tall and dry, then the nitrogen you put out won't have much impact. So pick a field that's got 3 inches of growth on it, and you've kept it that way. We need to pull the livestock off by about mid-August. That's not a sacred date, but about then, and put about 100 pounds of urea to 150 pounds of urea per acre to stimulate the growth that's going to come. A lot of times we ask the question, do we use a urease inhibitor or not? But if it's kind of dry and you don't anticipate a rain, then either wait until you do to put the nitrogen out, or if you have to put it out, that urease inhibitor will keep that nitrogen intact and in place and effective for the growth when the rain comes.
Absolutely. And in August in Kentucky, that's usually the wild card. Are we going to get any moisture? We've had farmers who put the nitrogen out, didn't receive the rain, and didn't get that end result that we wanted to get. And so there is a little bit of risk, but if we do get that moisture, there could be quite a bit of reward.
Oh, without a doubt. And that risk reward ratio, if we get it out earlier and we get rain, then the returns to the nitrogen are greater. I don't have a problem in the world if we're really, really, really dry to holding off until you get a sense that moisture is coming.
And then once we get that grass accumulated, how would you recommend going about actually grazing that?
And that's a neat thing that we've discovered, or I haven't discovered, but it was done at a similar station that we have, but in Missouri, that if you strip graze that, in other words, allocate smaller sections based on when you can rotate. But what they did was, well, if they strip graze it, allocate small sections, it lasts longer. They did a 7-day, allocation versus a 3-day allocation with just moving a hot wire down a field. And it almost doubled the number of grazing days they were able to get. So, we can generate the yield, but also with a little management on the other end, we can stretch it and make that grass last even further.
Absolutely. And people might say, that's a little bit extra labor, but once those cows get used to moving, you're just basically moving that temporary fence and that they'll move right along with you.
And the nice thing about this, you don't have to back fence, and the water can be at one end. And so it's really about as simple of a rotational grazing scheme as you can have.
Absolutely. Now, Dr. Henning, do we have publications available about stockpiling if people want more information?
Yes, we do. And we have probably videos on our forage YouTube page about that and publications on it. And I'll tell you what I do. I just open up my search window and I search Stockpiling Tall Fescue UKY. And it'll bring up everything that UK has written on that, and it'll be right at the top of the search list, including the publication that we would refer you to.
All right. Well, certainly appreciate the information. And if you have questions, make sure to contact your local extension office. Thanks for watching and have a great day.